Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is actually a second take because the first time I did a take, I didn't even unmute my mic. So the entire time I'm just... So I'm going to try and do this intro as much as I could as possible. As you can tell from the title of this game and from the sound effect and the ominous sound in the background, I'm doing something a little bit different this time because I still have a little bit of COVID. I still have some vocal issues as well until all that gets solved. I'm going to be doing more of a talking game, so we're playing Slay the Princess. This comes at kind of the right time because a lot of people are playing the now developed game. I know Markiplier is playing it. I know Manly Badass Hero has played it to completion as well, and he's a completionist. I've seen Markiplier's two parts. I've seen 2 parts. There's a bunch of parts I've not seen yet, and I really want to experience it because this is why I bought the game. I want to experience it. I want to play it, and I figured, why not record it? Because, well, I can at least do some vocal reactions if necessary. So here we are. We're going to transition over, and we're going to break this into parts, obviously, for the digestible chunks. And let's go from there. Let's start with the content warning. This is a horror game, and it is not intended for all audiences. Slay the Princess contains flickering images, image effects, as well as a parallax effect that, on rare occasions, has caused motion sickness in players. If either of these cause health issues for you, you can disable them in the game's preferences. Oh, we got a little claw, look at that. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings, there are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Love story. And I think in this first part, let's really milk that. We're assuming a male protagonist because the voices are all male, so let's just dive in. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
Oh.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. End of the world?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Princess be locked away in the basement. But how can a princess locked away in the basement of the world? Don't tell me why she's dangerous. Do you have any evidence to back this up? Have you considered that maybe the princess seems to kind of bad things? Can someone else do this? I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world? I'm trying to think of answers to stuff that I've not seen before. So, have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked
While
up?
I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
Alright.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything.
Okay, so it's the chicken that destroyed the world.
Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
And the only slaying I do. Look away in the basement in the world. Look, I'll go to the cabin, I'll talk to her, and if she's bad. Okay, I'm sold. Let's get this over with. Okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet, I've always wanted to. Off of Monarch Vive la Revolution. Turn around idea. I've seen some decisions made, and there's certain ones I'm gonna leave to like the very, very end and make a big like finale episode. So, gives yourself reward for doing this. Consider that maybe I'm okay with the world ending. Forget this, I'm not doing this. Get someone else do this. Look, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to her. She's as bad as you say she is. Maybe I'll slay her, but I'm not committing to anything until I've had a chance to.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Us?
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Me, narrator? Like, do you mean you and me? By us. To see how I'll do so. Okay.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Okay.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table.
Take the blade.
It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I got a little knife. Stab, stab. Stab, stab.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Hello, princess.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Actually. No. Haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Okay.
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare.
I do dare.
It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
It's true.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
So she.
We'll be fine. don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
It's true. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's pretty awkward. I'm here. Here we go. Here's one of those people that have not seen each other. I'm here because you're supposed to have the bonus.
Don't just tell her that.
Why not?
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Yeah, they seem to have left that out.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart.
No, you don't.
Hopefully sooner.
Just for folks of it, I've selected no, and I'm more inclined to trust you than I am to trust them. By that I mean the narrator. And kind of the voice of the hero as well.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Okay. You're not some nightmarish creature. See what I can do.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
No.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
There's the key. Do you have any ideas?
Well, you do have that big, sharp knife. You could always cut me out of here.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Of course.
You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam.
Yeah.
They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
Are you sure? I mean, you're also like nonchalantly cold about it.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Content warning there will be the sounds of cutting bone and sinew, just so y'all know.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
Oh, my knife's got blood on it. Like, literally, but also like a little, like, pointer.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you. her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
How am I still composed by her losing an arm? But hey, she asked me to, so what next, princess?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
How? The door's locked.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
Excuse me?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Like we all stay safe, the princess, except for... Warren.
Stop that.
Yo, princess!
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
I'll stay safe, the princess, except for resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
No.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you?
Yes.
I can see the conflict in your eyes.
Yes.
I'll make this quick.
I'm so sorry.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Sure was. Chapter 2, The Prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Getting a terrible sense of deja vu. Wait, this already happened. Okay, no. But I died. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago.
Okay, you're not gonna get snippy with me.
Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't
Whistle
trust a
skeptic.
word out of his mouth. There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth. And all this really did happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything? Proceed to the cabin, turn around and leave. Yeah, I mean, let's assume I'm telling the truth. You know what? Let's ask him anyway.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving.
Please do.
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
I mean, true. Where's the lie?
The absolute irony. Well, that's one way to put it, I guess. You really don't remember what happened last time, do you? You practically forced the princess to kill us. That doesn't sound like the sort of thing I'd do, which is honestly all the more reason for you to not buy into whatever self-delusions the three of you are crafting. But this is a thought experiment, so I suppose I'll continue to give you the benefit of the doubt. If I did practically force the princess to kill you, it was probably for a good reason. Did you try and free her? Did you say something really mean to me? Because if I really did what you said I did, you probably deserved it. I'm a professional, after all. Sure you are. Anyway, I believe your second question was,
What's the point of doing anything?
If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
The reason I'm shaking my head is because no one forced her to do it. No one forced her hand. She made the choice based off the situation. She didn't force us. Or no one forced her to do it. No one's forcing me to kill her.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
Actually, she couldn't get out of the basement because someone locked the door. Someone or something locked the door.
What a conveniently ambiguous group of things for her to ruin. For all we know, the princess left the cabin and never saw another soul.
It's true, we don't know. We died.
Oh, how I wish that were the case, but if the princess weren't a certain, inevitable threat to the world, the four of us wouldn't be here. And yet, here we are. You're talking in circles.
He is.
No, I'm talking in facts.
Let's talk about this princess. No, we're just gonna talk in circles. Let's go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further.
I know, but...
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her.
Okay.
Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
I like the skeptic.
Did you just say wink out loud?
Yeah, he did.
No, I didn't.
No, he didn't.
Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
We're seated at the cabin. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love this.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. It definitely did not. Does a mirror not count as furniture of note to you? Because it should. There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
There is.
I think you know what we have to do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, skeptic.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
I remember watching the Markiplier playthrough and subsequent ones that we've watched. Based on the look, my roommate seems to think that we are a kin of some kind. I wonder what your guys' thoughts are in the comments. We are some form or other of creature, it seems like.
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
This area is different than last time. No.
I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation, and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon. Are you sure? She killed us with it last time. What if she turns it against us again?
Yes, I'm sure, and I've already got a plan for that.
Okay.
Still with those past life delusions, are we? I hope part of that plan is don't give the world any monstrosity your only weapon, because unless you've decided to arm the princess, I don't think you need to worry about her having a weapon.
Peachy, we'll be fine.
Okay.
Hey, you know what I gotta say here? What's the big idea? Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
True.
Thanks. I mean it.
Don't mention it, skeptic. I trust you.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
True, but we don't know.
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. So much for cutting her out of here. Do you hear yourself right now? Cutting her out of here never should have been on the table. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless. That was there last time too, wasn't it? It was.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
Okay.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Yeah.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Well, I have three voices in my head. One of them wants me to slay you. One of them wanted me to take the knife, and then the other one is here to question all the other voices. And then there's me, just the instrument of death. My intentions, what do you mean? I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that? What happened after I died last time? Which one was it for? You're not much of a threat. You're locked up by Slave Princess. That other chain on the wall, who was it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here?
I'm here to slay you.
There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
I see.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
Isn't it? I'm gonna solve the decapitations. I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that?
Oh? Are we acknowledging that?
Yeah.
I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
I guess what you said back in the woods really was true.
Yeah. I am the main character.
As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion. The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what?
If we fail.
For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck. Now hold on, if you knew this could happen, why didn't you believe us back in the woods? Why lay out all those hypotheticals? We didn't have to talk in circles. I needed you to believe this was your first time here, even if that wasn't the truth. I hoped if I pushed back hard enough I could cram this seeping mess back into the bottle. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic.
Interesting revelation.
I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before.
Can't.
Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright? Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that. I won't. Fine, but you won't get another word from me on the matter. Yeah, sure. We'll see about that. Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
What happened after I did it last time?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
Seems like. Why would you have to lie?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
Maybe.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
How am I supposed to cut you out if you didn't notice your head's in a shackle too?
No. Like I trust you to come any closer with that knife. All you're going to do is hand it to me and watch me work.
But she would have to cut her head off, right? She can't be suggesting that. She certainly seems confident. Maybe she knows something we don't.
Of course she does.
Or maybe you should consider the most likely scenario. She's bluffing so she can disarm you. Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us. So, what should we do? I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons. Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none. The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
I'm not giving you a weapon. You realize that I have as much reason to distrust you as I have to distrust me. I'm not giving you a weapon. In case you haven't forgotten, you killed me with it last time. I cut you out of here. I'm not giving you a weapon. Okay, I'm trusting you. If you want to leave, I'm going to be the one to deal with it. I'm just going to leave, actually. Just like the princess. That one seems the most merciful. But I kind of want to see how it turns out. If you want to leave, I'm going to be the one to be the one with the weapon. Deal with it.
Do you think these chains take away my saying things? I said no.
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists.
Oh shit, here we go.
In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly. The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her. I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if she walked up to us with a blade again, after what happened between us? How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you. You steel your will and refuse to give in to the princess's demands, ignoring the stars dancing in your eyes and the screaming of your starved lungs. You strike. You fumble your first few attempts, only making surface-level scratches and gouges as your arm flails forward, barely able to obey you. But a single focused blow was all it took. Your blade pierces up through her ribs, slicing through flesh, striking her heart. The chains loosen. The darkness creeping in at the edges of your vision subsides.
None of this was ever very fair, was it? But I did kill you last time. I should have expected you might want some petty revenge. Unfortunately for you, that means you've dug your own grave. You can forget about me ever helping you again, even if it damns us both.
And just like that, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. I don't like this. It was too easy. It was not too easy. We almost died. That's right. This was an incredibly difficult task, and you performed it admirably. Let's just get out of here. I don't like looking at her body. Plus, he said there'd be a reward. I'd appreciate a reward right about now.
I don't want any
You
reward.
have the attention span of a fly. How are we supposed to unravel the mysteries of this place if you're so easily distracted by empty promises?
Yeah.
It's better to have a short attention span in a situation like this. There's no use dwelling on the past, especially when it's already set in stone. And especially when your promised reward is not, in fact, empty and is worth all the adversity you've been through to get here. Fine, but if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it. With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here. The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty. The door. Check the door. You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
Yeah, Skippy.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward?
Hero!
This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it. Okay.
No, Hero. Me and Skippy
This
are
is
gonna
what's
get ya.
best for everyone. Trust me.
No, it's not.
Like hell it is.
Yeah. That's bullshit. Let us out of here. I don't know. I'm pretty okay with this. I was kind of hoping we get a better ending for Sigma.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No, this is the beginning of eternity. Your reward, like I just told you. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
Well, what do you
We
suggest?
still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over.
Yeah.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy. Slay yourself.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
Yep.
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
Yeah.
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Chapter 3, The Grey.
You're on a par in the woods. See, that wasn't so bad. And now we've got another chance to get to the bottom of things. Bit by bit, we're starting to unravel this place.
Yeah, let's go, Skippy.
There are so many more threads to pull once you stop feeling.
Cold. Hey.
That's a little dark, buddy. You feeling okay? I'm feeling nothing. And I like that just fine. He's not wrong. Sentimentality won't help us here. We need scientific rigor.
Okay, let's not get too crazy for Skippy.
So you've been here before. Of course you've been here before. What count is it this time? 2?
3.
It's our 3rd. What gave it away? Your open discussions.
Yes.
The last time we were here, you were in full-blown denial about the possibility of us restarting. What changed? Have you just been pretending to forget? I'm afraid not. Whatever other versions of me you've met in those other lifetimes were just that. Other versions of me. I just wish I'd been the first. So you knew how all this worked. Why didn't you ever tell us? We could have used it to our advantage. That's because there is no using it to your advantage. The more information you have, the harder it will be for you to succeed. It's not like it was that difficult to slay her last time. She may have put up a fight, but her flesh is still softer than our blade. And now she's dead, and I doubt she'll be able to do much of anything from the grave. You already slew her, and you survived.
Yes.
Yes. Then why, pray tell, are you here?
That's what I think Cole's gonna actually tell us about.
Oh, I know that one. We killed ourselves.
Good job, Hero.
Why? Because you thought trying to stuff us away in a corner for eternity was a suitable reward. Was it not? What better reward is there than eternal bliss? You should have been happy. We weren't. We were bored. You were bored. I was just unhappy. There were still answers that we needed to find. It was actually working. And you killed yourself. I can't believe it. You ruined everything. How does us dying ruin everything? What aren't you telling us? The world doesn't stay saved if you die. And if the world isn't saved, then that means she isn't dead. Oh, now isn't that interesting? I assumed she'd just be a pile of old bones. But perhaps she's not. There's only one way to find out. We should go see her.
Whatever happens next, it seems like all our answers are going to happen. Might as well see this through. Proceed to the captain.
I'm sure you've already heard my words of warning in one of your past lives. You've already managed to slay her once, just don't muck it up this time, all right? What we do is entirely up to us. And we have all those mysteries to unravel. Isn't that right? You aren't here to solve a mystery. You're here to save the world. That's what you say. But how can we be sure? We can't be sure of anything except what's right in front of us. Okay, but we should care about the fate of the world.
Hero, sit down.
Why? Because we should. I don't know. It's important.
Very compelling, Hero.
Is it? Yes. I think.
Not very convincing. Sit down, Hero.
For all we know, the world you're talking about isn't even real. Of course it's real. Where do you think you are? Somewhere else?
Yes,
Maybe we are.
very much so.
This is horribly unproductive. The cabin and your extremely important destiny await.
Proceed into the cabin.
As soon as you enter the cabin, you're struck by an overwhelming scent of decay, of mold and death and stagnant water. The once stately wooden building is bloated, its beams dripping with a black ooze of putrefaction, all but the exterior stone walls warped beyond recognition. It must have been beautiful once, but in its ruin, it is beyond repulsive. But you're not alone. You can feel something watching you. There is a figure faintly outlined against the rotting wood of the wall. Is that her?
Princess?
It's like she isn't even there. See? We killed her. You're right. Maybe she doesn't reset like us. She certainly doesn't look the same as she did last time. Before you can make a move, the figure is gone, vanishing behind the door on the far side of the room. The door at the end of the room, but there isn't a door, it's just that damn mirror again. Yes, the mirror that he can't see. The mirror? Is this some kind of joke? Did you all plan this out before dying? There is no mirror. There's the door to the basement, the table, and the pristine blade. Huh. That's strange. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't... Maybe it's gone because we've already killed her with it. But we had it with us when we died. And besides, everything else has reset. Why wouldn't the blade have reset too? Maybe it's because we've already explored that avenue. We've seen what happens when we slay her. Maybe this place has decided we don't need to try that again. I suppose it doesn't matter why the blade is gone, but you're going to have to find it if you're going to do this right. So why don't you march over to that door and make your way down to the basement?
Approach the mirror.
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You must think you're looking at that mirror you mentioned earlier, the one that doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open the door. It's still so hazy. We should try and clean it off. Yes. Trying to touch it does seem to be the magic spell to get it out of our way. Maybe it won't disappear this time and we'll finally get a good look at ourselves. We should explore every option. You reach forward and place your hand on the door to the basement. The handle is just a little to your right, and a little down. Yeah, we can see it now. So much for our reflection. We didn't need to see ourselves anyway. I'm much more interested in seeing other things. No way left to go but down.
The door to the basement groans open. The air is foul and wet, so thick that you can almost feel it settle onto your skin in layers of grime. The stairs are coated with slimy algae, the wood rotted through in places, reeking of fetid vegetation. A wispy figure watches you from the bottom of the stairs, face veiled in shadows, legs submerged up to her shins in dark waters. There she is again. Barely. She's just an old memory. Your eyes lock for a brief moment, then she vanishes around the corner.
Sorry about the last time. Are we good? We have a lot to talk about. Don't have a weapon. There wasn't anything upstairs. Proceed downstairs.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A bloated body floating face down in slowly rising waters, her wrist still bound to the wall by a heavy chain. This cell is a dark and isolated place, with not so much as a window to allow starlight to penetrate the gloom. See? She's dead. She's not just dead. It looks like she's been rotting. So killing her does stick. Mostly. But if she's dead, then what are we supposed to do? She isn't dead. You clearly just believe she is. Her corpse is floating right in front of us. You can stop it with the mind games. If she's dead, then do we even have to do anything?
Really don't.
How can she be a threat to the world like this? Your thoughts are cut short by the sound of a slamming door and a clicking lock. You turn to see the shade of the princess staring down at you from the top of the stairs. So that's where the blade is. It's already in her heart. And yet she isn't dead. She is dead. Have you never heard of a ghost before? Oh, for the love of... Can we not waste time arguing over the semantics of what is and isn't dead? She is clearly conscious. She clearly just slammed the door on you, and she clearly has a weapon. Your pristine blade sticking out of her chest. This is extremely bad. Catastrophic, even. Yeah, dead or not, what are we supposed to do about her? Slaying, or destroying, if we want to be a little more death-neutral, seems off the table. Yeah, this is tricky. But let's talk to her. See what kind of information she has that we don't. But she hasn't said anything. Are you sure she can talk like this?
Hello?
Bold of you to come back here after what you did.
I only killed you after you killed me. We're even now. We don't need to do this again. Please, I'm begging you. Last time. I'm sorry. How can you let me out? Rush from the blade, rush from the door. I only killed you after you killed me first. We're even now. We don't need to do this again.
But she doesn't answer your question. All she does is watch you in shadowed silence.
Water level's rising.
Do you hear that trickling sound? The water's rising, isn't it? It is, and it's rising fast. Oh, that's interesting. We've never drowned before. I wonder how it'll feel. Bad, I bet. I don't think dying ever feels good. Yes, how astute. Dying is bad and you should avoid it. How about you stop trying to talk to her and do something instead?
Yeah, are you trying to kill me?
No, you're killing yourself.
The water is rising faster now. It's flowing in from some unseen place, and judging by the height of the algae on the stairs, it has no intention of stopping anytime soon. You feel it creeping up your back, so cold that it steals the very warmth from your flesh, leaving a smothering numbness in its place. Are you really just going to stand there and let yourself die? Yeah, let's think. Where is it coming from? It's coming from some unseen place. Does it really matter where it's coming from? Because I can feel it rising. I don't think we have much time to sleuth.
Yes, it matters. Maybe we can find a way out. Maybe we can figure out a way to make this work. This is just a puzzle. We can solve it.
Some things aren't puzzles to be solved. Sometimes you're doomed from the start. Most people are.
Yes, most people are doomed. But in case you need reminding, everyone will be doomed forever unless you stop her.
It's our last time. I'm sorry. Now can you let me out?
If this is how you're choosing to spend your last breaths, I won't stop you. But it won't make any difference.
The water is up to your chin. You lose your footing, bobbing helplessly in the putrid flood pool.
Where's the way out?
And suddenly, the door to the basement is thrown from its hinges as one last massive wave of water comes crashing down, sweeping you up in a powerful current. You're bashed against the stone wall. You come to a moment later, suspended in darkness, disorientated, only aware of the surface of the water and the emptiness above. And of course, the princess, hovering above you, watching in silence as you struggle to stay afloat in the icy depths. There's no way out.
It's so dark and cold. I think our limbs are slowing down. How much longer can we do this?
Just keep breathing, we'll figure this out.
Or we won't. It doesn't matter either way.
But you don't have time to figure anything out. Something cold and clammy wraps around your ankle. You're dragged under, only able to take one last hopeful gulp of air before your head is plunged into the freezing depths. As you sink below the surface, you see it. Or rather, you see her. The body you found floating when you first arrived, its hand is locked around your ankle, the heavy chains pulling you both down into the unfeeling, suffocating nothingness.
I get it. We shouldn't have killed her. Just get it away from us, please. The past is the past. There's no changing it. There's nothing to fix.
And there's not a lot we can do about the present either, not unless we think like we should have been doing all along. But there is no thinking as you drown. You desperately try to pull yourself back to the surface again, and again, and again. Your icy limbs flailing desperately against the grip of her rotting corpse. And all the while her ghastly figure stares down at you, expressionless, as unfeeling as the weight around your ankle.
Your lungs filled with water, the same your mind filled with blood. In the end, we're not so different.
But your lungs don't fill, and both she and her bones are gone. Something has taken them away, and it's left something else in place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went. I don't know how we will find her. The narrator is.
She is. Does that mean the world ended?
It must have. Do any of us know what the world ending is supposed to look like?
Skippy is here.
He was never going to outlast us. I'm begging you, don't do this.
We have to. We approach
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back. Fear.
Don't worry, Skippy. Let's do this.
Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
Voices for a small distance away. Gaze at the sounds as reach forward. They're gone, but here remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. We're alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Listen to that.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
What do you think I am?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Are you the princess? Do we know each other? What happens now?
Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
Okay.
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
I was meant to slay the princess to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, what are you going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
Being semantic. What are you going to do if I help? No, let it be. And what if I don't what you used to? Will I forget? Aren't you scared that I'll find a way to kill you? Okay, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
Her? Like this her? Or the original her?
You won't.
Everything goes dark and you die. Alright. We're gonna leave it here.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path
Leo said
is a
if it starts
cabin,
here, you'll know when you see it.
and in the basement
What?
of that cabin is a princess.
What? Okay. We are gonna end it here. But okay. I had ideas of how I was gonna play this. We'll catch you all next time. I am gonna end it here. So just to finish off by saying I need to pull up my things. Because I am too wired for sound right now. I deleted it by accident. Oh, wonderful. Okay, we're gonna do this by memory. So thank you all for watching this video. Really appreciate everyone for being here. If you like what you saw, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm also going to give a shout out to my one and only patron. I have a Patreon, and my one and only patron is Murdoch, who has been supporting me at the $5 tier. Feel free to go look at my link down below that you'll see for my Patreon, and you'll see what $5 gets you. It may get you a shout out in a future video, again, if you like what you saw. I'm not performing at my best because I have COVID, and I will recover eventually, and my voice will recover as well, but I'm going to be playing this all the way through. Believe me. This might be an obsession for the next few days because I don't normally talk in a lot of my games, but that's just how it is. Your support also does not have to be financial. You can also just support the channel by liking, commenting, subscribing, even sharing the videos as well. All of that is absolutely free and helps me grow the channel. In the meantime, I'm going to take a quick nap and